We can mail it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
I just said, well, I need to act on it. Soon, Neil, I was mentioning to Doug, everybody was good. Tuesday, we have some meetings. Ask for special, still trying to do that. I'm out of time. So if it's okay with you, right after that. Okay.
So Joe's sick. Italian American. He's waiting for it. That's great. That's like 6 weeks now, 5 or 6 weeks. They tested for flu last week. They did negative. She's still coughing.
Yes.
I slept on the couch 2 weeks before we went to Kentucky, and then when we got back, she said, still coughing. Not as bad, but she's still
A lot of places.
But you and your son?
yeah. At first, I don't know what it was, I was going to catch it. But now it's like, I haven't caught it by now, I'm not going to catch it. God knows what it is.
How do amplifications?
What's that?
Sense.
Nice and clear.
New?
I think so, right? No, we had
Okay.
last one. I had last one.
We did.
Were you here last one?
Oh, yep, I do have an extra. We got a couple of them. One left out.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Putnam County Legislature, today being December 6th, 2022. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Legislator Albano, please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could stand for our legislative prayer, and Legislator Nasarino is going to lead us.
We gather to make decisions for our community. May we use our best skills and judgment, keeping ourselves impartial and neutral as we consider the merits and pitfalls of each matter that is placed before us, and always act in accordance with what is best for our community and our fellow citizens.
Amen. Thank you. Roll call, please.
District 1, Legislator Montgomery.
Here.
District 2, Legislator Goldman. District 3, Legislator Anizia.
Present.
District 4, Legislator Nasarino.
Present.
District 5, Legislator Albano.
Present.
District 6, Legislator Yonke.
Present.
District 7, Legislator Castellano. District 8, Legislator Sage.
Present.
District 9, Chairman Sullivan.
Present. Next on the agenda is a proclamation for the Carmel High School football team. Head coach Todd Kay could not make it tonight. He has a important redistricting meeting. So I'm going to read the proclamation that we're going to present to him, and then I'm going to see him this week and hand deliver it to him. But they had a tremendous season, and the proclamation a little summarized what a great year they had. So the Carmel High School football team, whereas the 2022 football season for the Carmel High School football team was an unprecedented one, as they played for the first time in Carmel High School's history as the defending state champions after an undefeated 13-0 season. The Carmel High School football team not only won the 2021 state championship, but was also continuing a winning streak of 26 consecutive games over 3 seasons. That undefeated record continued until November 19, 2022, when the team succumbed to the Newburgh Free Academy during the Class A quarterfinal game, which they lost in overtime. Over those 3 remarkable seasons, the Carmel High School football team played in a Section 1 Class AA title games all 3 years, obtaining 2 sectional titles. Under the leadership of Coach Todd Kay, the Carmel High School football team continues to evolve and grow. Coach Kay has been a reliable mentor for the players, showing them the importance of sportsmanship on and off the field. Now therefore be it resolved that the Putnam County Executive Mary Ellen Odell and the Putnam County Legislature hereby congratulate Carmel High School varsity football team on 3 record-breaking seasons. Well done, Carmel High School football team. Next on the agenda is item 4, which is the approval of the minutes from our Budget and Finance meeting on October 19, 2022. Also, our special meeting to adopt the budget on October 28, 2022, and our regular meeting of November 1st, 2022. So I make a motion to approve the minutes. Item 5 is correspondence from our county auditor, and we don't have any correspondence tonight. Item 6 is our pre-filed resolutions, and the first committee is the Personnel Committee, and I'll turn it over to Chairman Young.
Thank you, Chairman Sullivan. On behalf of legislators Addisio, Messerino, and myself, I'd like to move forward with item number 6A. It's an approval of a budgetary amendment, social services reclassification of an account clerk to account clerk 2. It's in the amount of $2,379, and there's no fiscal impact.
Does anyone have any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6B is the approval of the budgetary transfer of the planning department. It's a purchasing stipend. It's to compensate an employee who's been picking up some slack in purchasing.
Anyone have any questions? Discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 6C is the approval of a fund transfer for social services. It's to cover the reclassification of account clerk 2 position. It's in the amount of $2,380, no fiscal impact.
Anyone have any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6D is the approval of a fund transfer for the Sheriff's Department. Jail general overtime. It's in the amount of $67,140 with no fiscal impact.
Anyone have any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6E is the approval of a fund transfer for the Sheriff's Department. It's jail medical overtime. It's in the amount of $36,007 with no fiscal impact.
Anyone have any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6F is the approval of a fund transfer in the Sheriff's Department jail transport overtime. It's in the amount of $21,530 with no fiscal impact.
Anyone have any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6G is the approval of the financial disclosure list for the year 2023, filing recommended by the Putnam County Personnel Director pursuant to Code Section 55-7.
Any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6H is a local law establishing the 2023 salary of certain elected officials serving for fixed terms.
Anyone have any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I vote no.
Item 6J is the approval of 2023 salaries for officers and employees paid from county funds.
Any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I vote no.
Item 6K is a ratification of memorandum of agreement, Civil Service Employees Association, CSEA.
6J.
Aye.
He did ayes, J.
J. You're on J. I think you did 6I. I think you're on 6J.
Okay. Item 6J is the approval for 2023 salaries for officers and employees paid from county funds.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item
I vote
6K,
no.
ratification of memorandum of agreement for Civil Service Employees Association.
Anybody have any questions? Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Legislator Adnezia.
Yes.
Legislator Albano.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano. Legislator Goldman. Legislator Yonke.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
I'm sorry, I got lost. We're on 6K.
K.
Yes, I vote yes.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 6L, ratification of memorandum of agreement, Putnam Management Association, it's PUMA.
Any questions? Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Legislator Adnezia.
Yes.
Legislator Albano.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano. Legislator Goldman. Legislator Yonke.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
Yes.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 6M, ratification of memorandum of agreement, Putnam County Sheriff's Employees Association.
Any questions? Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Legislator Adnezia.
Yes.
Legislator Albano.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano. Legislator Goldman. Legislator Yonke.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
Yes.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next committee will be our Rules, Enactments, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee, led by Chairwoman Adnezia.
Thank you, Chairman Sullivan. On behalf of legislators Nasarino and Sage, I'd like to move 6N forward. This is a budgetary amendment to account for local government records management improvement fund. There's a grant awarded in amount of $49,998, zero fiscal impact.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to 6O, is an approval for budgetary amendment for the Veterans Affairs peer-to-peer program. Putnam County has been notified by the New York State Office of Mental Health of $185,000 in funding for the Putnam County Office of Veterans Affairs peer-to-peer support program. I believe this program is extremely important. Peer specialists have the ability and experience to provide strong support to fellow veterans. I just can't stress enough how important this is to Putnam County, and I'm proud to support this.
Any questions? Discussion?
I have a comment. You know, in the years past, it was always a mystery whether or not this funding was going to come through. And I'm just pleased that we didn't have that this year. And also, I think it's important to note that New York State Legislature and the governor increased the funding from $4.5 million statewide to $7.7 million. And I just feel like it's important to note that their, investment in our veterans and mental health and how great a peer-to-peer program is in any venue, but especially this one.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye. Moving on to 6B is a approval for budgetary transfer for the county attorney legal services. This is going to cover the remainder of 2022 invoices for legal services.
Any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Moving on to 6Q. This is a payment in lieu of taxes, which is a pilot program for the town of Southeast Solar Project. I think this pilot agreement, I believe this is very beneficial to the county and the public as it increases renewable energy production.
Any questions? Legislator Yonke?
Yeah, this is a project supported by the town of Southeast, and I'm supporting this project as well.
Thanks. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye. Moving on to 6R. Is approval of local law to amend Article 10 of Chapter 220 of the Code of Putnam County by increasing the income threshold of the senior citizen property tax exemption. The state has passed this legislation. I'm very happy to see this local law move forward. We're increasing the income threshold, which will allow more senior residents in Putnam County to qualify for the property tax exemption. We currently have 898 homeowners that would qualify, and this will be a 3-year phase-in period.
Any questions? Discussion? Legislator Yonke?
Yeah, as someone who's been involved in the property tax business for the last 34 years, this truly has an impact on our a positive impact on our senior citizen population. More seniors will be able to qualify for more exemption on their property tax. This includes their school tax, their town, their county taxes. So this is very, very, very helpful to the senior population.
Anyone else?
Chair.
Legislator Sage?
Not only this helps the senior citizens of Putnam County, but Putnam County has one of the highest percentages of senior citizens in all the counties in the state of New York. So this is going to help a lot of our constituents here in Putnam County. And as Social Security wages, I guess, would be increased next year, this is going to correlate hopefully a little bit better with that, so they don't lose their benefits. They're going to increase and get better benefits. So, yeah, I'm in favor of this.
Anyone else? I'd just like to add that it's been a number of years since this has been changed. So it's really good to see that it has been changed, and it'll be a big help to our seniors. So I'm glad the change was made. All in favor?
Aye. Moving on to 6S, it's the approval of local law to amend Article 9 of Chapter 220 of the Code of Putnam County by increasing the income threshold for disabled persons for property tax exemption. Just as we previously did for seniors, this is the same thing. This is pertaining to disabled residents in Putnam County.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to 6T, the approval and appointment of our election commission of the Republican Party. Pursuant to Section 3.204 of New York State election law and upon the recommendation of Putnam County Republican Committee, Kelly K. Primavera is hereby appointed for a 4-year term as Commissioner of Elections for Putnam County, commencing January 1st, 2023 and expiring December 31st, 2026.
Any questions? Discussion. Legislator Yonke.
Yeah, just like to congratulate Kelly. She's worked in that department for many years. There's nobody better qualified, and congratulations.
Legislator Montgomery.
Well, I don't know Kelly well. I'm happy to support this and welcome her again to this position.
Legislator Nasarino.
Just want to echo the comments and congratulate Kelly. She's worked really hard for, I think, 22 years at the Board of Elections. 19 years, I stand corrected, but it's been a long time in any event, and has worked really hard and is very qualified, and we are happy to appoint you and support you this evening.
Legislator Anizio.
I say congratulations, Kelly. I'm also happy to support you.
Legislator Albano.
Same, I'd just like to thank you. 19 years is as good as 22 to me. That's great.
Legislator Sage.
I'm going to make it unanimous and welcome Kelly. I appreciate all your expertise, your knowledge, and your hard work throughout all of these difficult, most recent changes in our election laws. I know that you work well with your contemporary, and I'm looking forward to working with you again in the future, and congratulations.
I'll make it second unanimous. But congratulations, Kelly, it's well deserved.
Thank you all.
You're welcome. Good luck. It's only getting harder and harder.
I think we
Yeah,
can
And we all in favor?
Aye. Moving on to 6U is the approval of appointment of election commissioner of the Democratic Party pursuant to section 3.204 of the New York State election law, and upon the recommendation of the Putnam County Democratic Committee, Catherine P. Croft is hereby appointed for a 4-year term as Commissioner of Elections for Putnam County commencing January 1st, 2023 and expiring December 31st, 2026.
Any questions? Discussion. Legislator Albano.
Just like to congratulate you. Thank you for the work you do.
Legislator Nasarino.
I too would like to congratulate Kathy Croft as well. She has remained fair, consistent, and steadfast. And we have a new team at hand going into 2023, and I wish you both the best of luck.
I just told her she's not with me.
Legislator Anizio.
Congratulations, Catherine Croft, for
Legislator
appointing.
Montgomery.
No,
Sorry.
that's me. Thank you very much for your hard work.
So, Kathy, Commissioner, this is a huge responsibility. I was honored to put forward the recommendation of Catherine Croft at my party organization's meeting. Consistently, she enforces New York State election law and related federal and state laws. For the people of the county, she ensures the proper processing of all registration and works tirelessly preparing materials for elections, and most importantly, educates the public and candidates. The most important thing for any candidate who's never run for office before, and those of us who have run 5 times, is to know that we can pick up the phone and get important information when we need it, and that's just what Kathy does. So I'm so happy to have you there, and I think you guys are a great team.
Yeah, I too would like to congratulate you and thank you for all your years of service in Putnam County. I think we only have 70,000 registered voters in Putnam County out of 100,000, so something like that. Let's do better, Putnam County. Let's get everybody to our Board of Elections to get registered to vote. And again, I thank you so much for all that you do and all your expertise and good counsel. Thank you.
Legislator Yonke.
Yeah, congratulations, Kat.
I too would like to say congratulations to Commissioner Croft for being appointed for another 4 years. Good luck. And now we shall vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on
That
to
was the call.
Moving on to 6V is the approval for reappointments to the Putnam County Home Improvement Board. Resolved that the following be reappointed to the Putnam County Home Improvement Board. Peter Joseph Doman, Town of Southeast, as a citizen representative for a 2-year term, expiring December 31st, 2024. Maria Catherine Donovan, Town of Carmel, as a citizen representative for a 2-year term, expiring December 31st, 2024. Michael Fricelli, Town of Carmel, as a contractor for a 2-year term, expiring December 31st, 2024. And John Morrison, Town of Carmel, as a tradesman for a 2-year term, expiring December 31st, 2024.
Any questions? Any discussion? Legislator Yonke.
Yes. Earlier this year, I requested that we see either for new appointees or reappointees resumes, even if they were old resumes. And I don't think we ever got that, although we do have Peter Dolman's here. And I said that I wasn't going to vote for any reappointments or appointments unless we had resumes. So I'm going to vote against this for that reason, and not a reflection on the candidates.
Legislator Nasarino.
I will be supporting these appointees tonight. They have, they're being reappointed. They are volunteers, and we value our volunteers who step up to the plate and do whatever they can to help the people at Putnam County. They have served in the past and will continue to serve with integrity, and I will certainly support them. And moving forward, I certainly understand and recognize that resumes are important, but in this case, these people have earned their keep, and they are certainly worth reappointing.
Thank you. Legislator Anicio.
Yes, as Legislator Nasarino said, these are reappointments this evening. But I just would like to thank all the volunteers for stepping up to the plate and doing this hard work. And it's very hard to get volunteers, and I thank them for their commitment. Also, just wanted to mention that I did send a letter out, and that went out on November 14th to the boards. So just moving forward, advising them, and I have the letter from in respect to board memberships, requiring legislative appointment or confirmation. The legislature will now require all boards to submit a resume, statement of qualifications, and/or a letter of interest when proposing any member for appointment, reappointment, or confirmation. I believe this will provide most transparency to the legislature and to the public. Further, it is the responsibility of each board to keep track of the terms of office of its members. Requests for appointment, reappointment, or confirmation should be sent to the legislature prior to the expiration of a term to avoid the creation of vacancies or having former members continuing to serve in a holdover capacity after their terms have expired. Finally, each board should confirm that it has provided the clerk of the legislature with a copy of its current bylaws and provide any updated copy when amendments are made. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. So this went out in November. So it came late, that's why we have not received the information on all of them reappointments.
Anyone else, any comments?
I appreciate Legislator Yonke's points, and I, in fact, have been asking for 4 years for these resumes, and I do appreciate the memo that went out and the letter of interest, the resume that we did get for this, and you'll see in the next one we did get some more letters of interest. So we're working on it, and I do appreciate that. And with that, I will be supporting this because, you know, I understand government works slow, and 4 years of asking, I'm just really happy to see some progress. So thank you.
Anyone else? Legislator Sage.
I mean, I'd also like to point out that not only are these people volunteers, they are reappointments. They've been working on these boards for several years, many of them. And they also fill out the personnel conflict of interest form that we just voted on also. Final recommendation by the Putnam County financial disclosure. So they're not unknown to Putnam County. These are people that have been working and serving Putnam County for many years. And they also provide their financial disclosures on these boards. So I'll be in favor of them.
Thank you.
Can I just stress again, may I please? It's really important to have documentation of who's sitting on our boards and what their resumes are and the letters of interest. You know, I understand that they're reappointments. It doesn't tell us or the people who, you know, want to find out who's on the boards possibly to, you know, we don't know who we're appointing. So just because they filled out that questionnaire, it protects us as a county to have records of who's serving and representing the county.
I'm in favor of having resumes and letters of
I've been
interest,
asking
just for the
for
record.
years. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to just make a comment also. I'm glad that we have people that step up to the plate and offer their time to these boards. It's a lot of time, and they're not compensated for it, and they play a very important role, so we're thankful for them. And as Legislator Adenizio said, we're moving forward. She sent the letter in November. I think we're moving in the right direction to be able to gather this information for appointments going forward, and I think everybody will be pleased with getting resumes and qualifications ahead of time, and we're moving in the right direction. So that's a good thing. And if there's no other comments, I'll make a motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Thank you.
Moving on to 6W is the approval for reappointment to the Putnam County Plumbing and Mechanical Trades Board. Resolve the following be reappointed to the Putnam County Plumbing and Mechanical Trades Board. Stephen Alonge, Town of Southeast, as D1 Master Plumber for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2025. Thomas Capalbo, Town of Patterson, as D3 Citizen Representative for a 3-year term, said term to expire December 31st, 2025. And Alexandra Manconi, Town of Cromwell, as D6 HVAC Representative for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2025. Just again, thank our volunteers for their commitment to serve here in Putnam County. It's appreciated.
Any questions? Discussion. Legislator Yonke.
Thank you. Yes, I'll be supporting this because there are 3 letters that explain who we have on board, a little description of each member, and that's all I'm looking for. And I do value all of our volunteers. We're grateful that they step up, and I'm happy to support this.
Anyone else?
Thank you for the resumes. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to 6X is the approval of settlement of litigation, Cameron Bridge Works LLC versus County of Putnam. This is pending approval this evening of the legislature.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6Y is the approval for budgetary transfer, 22T282, the county attorney litigation settlement.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next committee will be Health, Social, Educational, and Environmental Committee, and Legislator Sage.
Thank you, Chairman Sullivan. On behalf of legislators Adenizio and Yonke, I'd like to bring forward the following 6Z, approval for budgetary amendment 22A078 for the Health Department. It's the National Association of City and County Health Officials Grant Award. This grant will be used to further invest in our Medical Reserve Corps in the amount, again, $25,000.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Moving on to 6AA is the approval of budgetary amendment 22A079 for the Department of Social Services. The New York State Office of Temporary Disability Assistance, New York State New York State Rental Supplement Program. This is in the amount of $100,000 that will be used in housing rental for the New York State Office of Temporary Disability Assistance for the administration of the New York State Rental Supplemental Program.
Any questions? Any discussion?
Just a comment.
Yep, Legislator
I think
Nasarino.
it's a no worthy to indicate that these funds would be subcontracted to the Putnam Northern Westchester Women's Resource Center. They do a stellar job helping individuals.
That's sure good.
What kind?
Liz A. Montgomery.
Yes, I love this program, and I'm really appreciative to the state for the funding for this, and that it is going to the Women's Resource Center, and especially that it's going to families and individuals, regardless of immigration status, who are experiencing homelessness and are facing an imminent loss of housing.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye. Moving on to 6BB is the approval of fund transfer 22T315 from the Health Department. This is for preschool parent travel, early intervention for parent travel, EI care at private facilities in the amount of $118,000.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next up is the Protective Services Committee and Chairwoman Nasarino.
Thank you, Chairman Sullivan. On behalf of myself and legislators Sage and Sullivan, I would like to move forward with agenda item 6CC, approval budgetary amendment 22A073, Sheriff's Department overtime outside services. This request is to amend the Putnam County Sheriff's 2022 budget to include anticipated services rendered and invoiced from county school districts and the Putnam County Board of Elections. It is in the amount of $25,249.32 with zero fiscal impact.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to item 6DD is approval budgetary amendment 22A076, Sheriff's Department Police Traffic Safety Grant. The New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee has awarded the Putnam County Sheriff's Department $15,300 to participate in the statewide police traffic services program. The goal is to increase seatbelt usage and reduce dangerous driving behaviors in an effort to reduce serious injuries and fatalities. I would like to move forward with this. There is a fiscal impact of $2,356, and that is for fringe benefits associated with the initial costs.
Any questions? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 6BE is approval budgetary amendment 22A083, Sheriff's Department T Commission Reserve Black Creek Jail Management System. This request is a budgetary amendment to utilize the T Commission reserve funds to purchase a server for the jail management system. A new server is needed, and it's coordinated with what was recently, the program that was recently purchased. This is in the amount of $37,917.51 with no fiscal impact.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 6FF is budgetary transfer 22T247, the Coroner's Partnership Initiative with Putnam Hospital Center. This is a partnership that we discussed this and it was reviewed in both protective services and the audit and administration meetings for the morgues in dire need of renovation, which are in excess of $80,000. This initiative is with Putnam Hospital. After several meetings, The hospital has agreed to split the cost per a proposal from Storm King. The coordinator of coroners has requested this budgetary transfer to fund renovations of the morgue, including but not limited to new cabinet, shelves, tables, lightings, and a negative pressure room, which purifies the air and safeguards against infectious diseases. This exemplifies a great partnership between the county and Putnam Hospital, and Putnam County has exclusive use of the morgue. Therefore, I would like to move this request to transfer $40,000 from contingency to the Partnership Initiative Code for the renovations.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to 6GG is approval of fund transfer 22T to 9B. The district attorney has requested the fund transfer in the amount of $10,800 to purchase new office equipment, merely moving some money around within the budget, and there is no fiscal zero impact.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next is the Physical Services Committee and Chairman Albano.
Thank you, Chairman Sullivan. On behalf of legislators Castellano and Goldman and myself, I'd like to move 6HH, approval of budgetary amendment 22A-077, Soil and Water Board, Cornell Cooperative Extension, Pollinator Garden. This is in the amount of $6,000, and it's a water and soil project. We've received funds from New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets.
Any questions?
Just a
Comments?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm glad to see this. I think this is really important, the pollinator program, since bees are being endangered, and that was a big, big problem. So I'm glad to see this moving forward.
Legislator Montgomery?
Yes, thank you for this, and thanks, New York State. This is going to the Desmond Fish Library in Garrison, which is in my district. And there are a lot of these pollinator gardens in Phillipstown. If you walk around town, even just walking in the village, you'll see them. Town Hall has it. They're popping up all over, and there's a big movement to put these in everywhere. So we really appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Legislator Sage?
Yes, this was funded to the Soil and Water Conservation District. For Putnam County, the funds come from the state through our Water Conservation District in partnership with Cornell Cooperative. This is one of the projects that we vote on every year. We do pepper projects the Soil and Water Conservation District work on every year. We have projects that we fund, and this was one of them for last year. So I'm very happy to see this finally go through.
Thank you. Anyone else? Being that there's no further comments, I'll make a motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6II is an approval of the budgetary amendment 22A-082, finance regarding Putnam Golf Course, in the amount of $300,000 based on our contracts, anticipated income, and to cover expenses.
Any questions? Any discussion? Legislator Sage.
Just a note that this is a good thing. This is money coming in as income for the golf course and facilities. There are $300,000 coming into taxpayer coffers. So it's a good thing to see money coming in from our properties.
Just to,
Legislator Albano.
and that's good to point that out back. The golf course, Tilly Forster, properties that the public could enjoy, yet they generate income, so they cost us very little. And just great ideas. That's the way to make things work for the public.
Thank you. Anyone else? No further discussion. I'll make a motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
6JJ is an approval of operating assistance pursuant to Title 49 of the United States Code, Section 5311, Consolidated Grant Application for Federal Fiscal Years 2022 and 2023. This allows us to work with the DOT for federal and state projects that we're reimbursed for. We're a third-party contractor that coordinates this, and it just makes the whole scenario work with our roads and highways.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6KK is an approval of an amended tower agreement with EIP Communications I, LLC. This is in the town of Kent, known as tax map number 9.1-1. What will happen is we pay an extra $200 a month rental. We're going to pay a fee of $22.50 for inspection of the equipment that we have to set up. And it's a good idea for our communications to work at the next level wherever possible. And this is one example.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6LL is approval of the conveyance of tax map number 91.8-1-25 in the town of Putnam Valley, Peaceful Hollow Road. This is a property that the county owns, currently is being used by a contractor doing road improvements in that area. They're using it for an office and a staging area. This property will be conveyed over to Putnam Valley, and in the future, a building that's in desperate need of repair actually needs to be torn down. The building will be torn down and it will be used for municipal parking. Great use for the land. The property is approximately a little less than 1/4 acre.
Any questions? Any discussion or comments?
I have a question.
Okay.
Who's responsible for tearing the building down? Who's going to have that expense?
I believe the town of Putnam Valley. Is that correct? Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Legislator Nasarino.
I think this is a great use of the property as noted. You know, the building is in disrepair, it's in no longer use, and I know it will best serve the residents of Putnam Valley and how desperately we need parking in that area. So we're doing the right thing for the right reasons, and I'm happy to support it.
Legislator Yonke.
Yes, Legislator Goldman could not be here tonight, but he did want me to pass along and to express his support for this. So I want that noted, please.
Okay, thank you. Legislator Sage.
Yes, I want to take this opportunity to read a letter from Supervisor Jackie Anabi from the town of Putnam Valley regarding 22 Peaceful Hollow Road in Putnam Valley. Dear County Legislators, thank you for considering gifting the property at 22 Peaceful Hollow Road to the town of Putnam Valley. This parcel has been vacant for many years. Some years back, the town of Putnam Valley, in partnership with the Women's Resource Center, Putnam Valley Parks and Recreation Department, and our Sheriff's Department explored the possibility of refurbishing the building. Unfortunately, this project was simply not cost effective, as there were too many deficiencies in the structure of the building. This lot will be a colossal asset to our business district within Oregon borders. At the moment, our biggest problem within that area is lack of parking. The addition of this lot as a parking area will undoubtedly revitalize this area and eventually bring in more businesses to it. Sincerely, Jacqueline Alby, Supervisor, Town of Putnam Valley, and I'd be happy to vote in favor of this to support our local businesses.
Thank you. Legislator
Yeah, it's anticipated the contractor should be out of there by August, so it may work out well if they can get that building down with the parking, and of course I would support this.
Anyone else? I too support this. I think it's a great partnership again between the county and one of the towns in here, Putnam Valley, that we can take a property that we're not using and someone else can use it and utilize it, and to help the downtown business area is a great idea, so I'm all in favor of it. If there's no further comments, I'll make a motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
6MM is an approval of a permanent easement in the town of Southeast, tax map number 69.1-11.2, Farrington Properties LLC. This is giving us an easement so that we can continue work on the Maybrook 2 Phase B project, bike trail.
Any questions? Better say yeah.
This is a beautiful part of the bike path, which is in the town of Southeast, right down the street from my house. It's beautiful, but there is a problem with access to the bike path, and this will really be helpful for our residents to access this really beautiful part of the bike path.
Thanks. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6N is an approval of highways and facilities use of the capital facilities reserve. Amendment 22 CP01. This is for flooring repairs and replacement of various county facilities such as our senior center, the Kohler building, social services, and the Bureau of Emergency Services. It's an additional $75,000, which will bring the total up to $195,000 for this floor works.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is the Audit and Administration Committee, and that would be Chairman Castellano, but Legislator Albano is on that committee, and he's going to handle these couple items.
Thank you, Chairman Sullivan. On behalf of legislators Castellano and Bullman, 600 is approval of budgetary amendment 22A-074. Finance vacancy control factor 2022. This is just moving numbers around based on the vacancy control factor where it should decrease in estimated revenues.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6PP is approval of the semi-annual mortgage tax report, April 1, 2022 through September 30, 2022. This is money on mortgages, a tax that's taken in, and all the money is put back to the towns where the sales occurred. The amount is $2,212,982.92.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That concludes the committee items. Item 7 is other business. Would any legislator like to bring up any other business tonight? No. Item 8 is recognition of public on agenda items. So if there's anybody that would like to speak about an agenda item, please come to the microphone.
Good evening. I just wanted to also congratulate Kathy and Kelly and just tell you folks an interesting story that you're probably unaware of. For the last 50 some odd years, we have been calling in to the New York State Election Service in New York the results of the election. You wonder, how do other counties, how are these numbers tabulated? People like myself call in these numbers. In the over 50 some odd years, under Kathy and Kelly's supervision, as well as the late Bob Bennett and Tony Scanapico, and the staff of people here at the Board of Elections is A+. In the last 50 some odd years, there was only 2 years when Putnam County was not the first to report the first election result and the first to report the final. So this team over here deserves an A+.
I think we all know your name and where you're from. Everyone knows you're from. Anyone else like to comment? Please. Please state your name and your town you're from.
I'm Jacqueline Abbey, I'm from Putnam Valley.
Thank you.
Now, originally. First, I want to thank you all for gifting that property to us. That's going to be a huge asset to our business district. We really could use it. We're hoping that the bridge project is done sooner than August. But to answer Legislator Montgomery's question about bringing down the building, we do have the federal ARPA funds that we'll be using towards that. to bring that building down, so it'll be no cost to our taxpayers, but it'll be a benefit to the whole district. So that's what we'll be using some of those funds for. And we're using a lot of those funds as well to do the testing for the mercury and the lead, so a lot of that becomes from the ARPA funds. Again, no expenses for our district. But I also want to thank the county for doing the threshold increases. This was a long time coming, obviously came down from the state. We've always needed to increase our threshold for our seniors. We had to find a way for them to stay here, and for our disabled. And just for a quick story, we had a resident in Putnam Valley who, due to the threshold, his income was $35 more than what the threshold allowed, and he couldn't make the exemption for $35. So having this increase in the exemption and these increases total will help all of our residents. So I'm glad it started with the county. I know the town will be following suit, and hopefully the schools will too, because the schools is where it really hits us the most, at 75% of our tax bill. So let's hope the schools follow suit. So thank you all for what you did. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, since there's no other comments from the public, item 9 is recognition of the legislature. Anybody in the legislature like to say something? Legislator Nasrina.
Yes, thank you. Tonight's meeting is bittersweet as it is the last full legislative meeting for Legislator Carl Albano and Legislator Neil Sullivan. It has been my distinct pleasure to work with both of you over the last several years. You have brought a very contrasting and unique discipline to the table, and your expertise has served the residents of Putnam County well. You have been an asset to the legislature and will be sorely missed. I wish you both the best of luck in your future endeavors, and I know there will be future endeavors. On the flip side, I am also excited to welcome our newly elected legislators, Greg Elner and Erin Lee Crowley. I'm looking forward to working towards a productive 2023 with our new colleagues. I know they are both passionate and energized and will hit the ground running. Congratulations to both of them. On a final note, I would like to wish everyone happy holidays. I know it has been a challenging year for many on a multitude of levels. May the holiday season be a special time to spend with your friends and family and to give thanks for all we have. The United States of America is the best place on earth. Best wishes for a healthy and happy 2023.
Thank you. Anyone else? Legislator Adamizia.
As Legislator Nasrina just stated, we have 2 legislators meeting this year, Legislator Albano and Legislator Sullivan. I want to thank you both for your commitment and hard work in serving Putnam County. Carl, you have served for the past 12 years, and it has been a pleasure working with you, both of you. I'm looking forward also to a productive 2023, and I'd like to wish everyone a happy and healthy holiday season. Stay safe.
Thank you. Legislator McGovern has your hand up.
Yeah, as the year comes to a close, there are literally hundreds of bills on the governor's desk waiting to be signed into law. New laws that will impact everyone in New York State. It's unfortunate that this is one of your last acts on the legislature. One of the laws in particular is in response to the New York State 1847 pre-Civil War wrongful death law that fails to deliver justice to victims of negligence. The current 175-year-old law does not consider the full measure of lost relationships. In no case does it recognize what 47 other states recognize. Grief caused by a life wrongfully taken results in a lifetime of economic instability. That is why New York State Grieving Families Act drew enormous bipartisan support and passed both the New York State Assembly and the New York State Senate, with yes votes from our County Executive-elect Byrne, Congressman-elect Lawler, State Senators Serino and Harcum, and Assemblywoman Galiff. And that is why it is being delivered to the governor to be signed into law. While this legislation would not help me personally, having suffered from a wrongful death, I am truly traumatized that on the eve of the 9th anniversary of my husband's wrongful death, the chairman of this legislature requested that I sign a letter to the governor, asking her to veto the Grieving Families Act. I am equally disheartened that legislators Nasarino, Albano, Sage, and Ednesio signed the letter. There are no facts in this cruel letter submitted to the governor by these legislators. What hubris to assume that 5 county representatives are more informed about this issue, its benefits, and its potential consequences than nearly the entire New York State legislative body who voted yes for it. Yes, I do agree. Of course, it is legitimate to ask whether any legislation will cause insurance premiums to rise substantially. Still, this letter opposing justice for families, like the other letters opposing this bill, commissioned by the insurance companies, is based on illegitimate and biased studies that make dire predictions of premium increases that prove to be incorrect. The statements made in their letter and others are based on improper assumptions, drawn from faulty data to reach unreliable conclusions. Legislator Sullivan's letter uses words like, has the potential to, and will likely cause. He writes that the new law would allow for the recovery of emotional damages against someone liable for causing death. Oh my God, shouldn't it? He and his signers of the letter claim the factors of grief. They claim that the factors of grief are intangible, and they say the Grieving Families Act will open the door to such non-economic damages as loss of love. I assure you, legislators, that these damages are nothing but tangible, every moment of every single day, and they definitely affect economic stability of any family, because any damages recovered on the current law, well, that's an oxymoron, the current law, which is 175 years old, merely any damages recouped from the current law merely pay for the insurance and expenses necessary to keep up with the unresolved consequences of losing a loved one. I personally have the price tags to prove this. It is no surprise that this is the route these legislators would take based on their failure to have any impact on funding for any mental health services in Putnam County since they have been elected to office. The letter does not provide any resources for their baseless claims. The Grieving Families Act needs to be signed into law. I agree with my colleagues' concerns that emotional damages are expansive and impossible to quantify. But unlike them, my fear is not that whatever monetary value is placed on human suffering will be too high, but rather the value on human suffering will never, ever, ever be enough. Let's at least give our grieving neighbors a fair shot at justice. As always, the people of Putnam deserve better, not someone who's going to advocate for corporate America on the backs of those wrongfully taken for us. Legislators Sullivan, Nasarino, Albano, and Sage, have a Merry Christmas with your families. Love does save the day. When that is taken away, what is left?
Anyone else? Legislator Yankee.
Yes. Your last meeting, full meeting, and Carl's last meeting, I just want to thank you both for the service that you've given to Putnam County. Carl, I've known you for over 30 years, but the last 6 years working with you has really been an honor and a pleasure. Neil, I've known you a long time as well. I wish you guys well, and I'm looking forward to working with our new legislators. And to everyone out there, happy holidays. Hopefully a safe and weather-friendly holiday. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Legislator Sage.
Yeah. I too want to share my congratulations, I guess. This is your last meeting of the legislature. I wish you nothing but success. We're certainly going to miss your institutional knowledge, all that you take with you. hopefully we can continue to consult and call and discuss issues. I'm looking forward to our new legislature. Hopefully that we can all work really well together. I'm looking forward to that. And I also like to say that December 19th is the first day of Hanukkah, and we've been experiencing a lot of anti-Semitism in our country recently, and I just want to let my Jewish friends and family know that I stand with you. I won't be silent. I'm against anti-Semitism. Being silent is being complicit, and you know, I just want to support all my Jewish friends and family. I've had Jewish friends my whole life, and it just hurts my heart to see the hatred, and I'm not going to stand for it. And I'll stand with my friends and neighbors. And Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
No, I just want to thank my fellow legislators for their kind words. It's been a pleasure to be a legislator for this last 12 years, and I just want to wish everyone a blessed holiday season with their families, and hopefully America stays on track and we keep everything moving forward.
Exactly. Thank you. Anyone else? So before I call for a motion to adjourn the meeting, this last full legislative meeting for 2020, I just have a few remarks I'd like to make. I've been involved with many organizations within county government, starting with the Commission on Fiscal Vision and Accountability, going back to 2008. We talked about consolidation, we talked about runaway expenses, we talked about school consolidation, law enforcement consolidation, anything we could identify that lowered the tax burden on our seniors, our veterans, our local business owners, and the families in Putnam County. We all saw firsthand the Albany corruption. We saw the waste, the lack of regional cooperation and collaboration that is necessary if you are to thrive and survive as county government. Unfortunately, Albany still uses counties as their ATM machine, bailing themselves out and leaving us holding the bag. This legislative body has done a great job in holding their feet to the fire. However, much more needs to be done. Being a CPA, a local business owner, and an active member of many organizations in the community, I see what happens when people, good people, work together for a common goal. I have been serving this county as a legislator for 6 years, and in that time, I saw our county properties, Putnam County Golf Course and Tilly Foster, flourish and return our investments. I have watched our county short-term debt be eliminated, our long-term debt be cut almost in half. I watched our fund balance grow from $15 million to $65 million, even as the counties and countries around the world struggle to stay afloat. We were able to work with our towns and villages to improve services to our constituents today, and I hope so in the future. My point is this: the county is operating at the finest I have seen. As someone who's audited many large companies, as someone who understands when our auditors present us with financials and summarize for us the outstanding job that the legislature, employees, and the administration has done year after year. I know we absolutely, 100%, turn this county's financial future into a very stable balance sheet in very volatile times. It's been my honor, and I'd like to offer my sincerest gratitude to my colleagues and to the employees in county government. Most importantly, I'd like to thank the good people of Putnam County for the privilege of serving you and for your support over these many years. I'd just like to close by wishing everyone a blessed, safe, healthy, and happy holiday season, and also my congratulations to all the newly elected officials in the new year. So that ends our meeting, and everybody have a terrific night and happy holidays. And I'll make a motion to adjourn. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.